All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me tonight. My name's Nick Mills Paul. I appreciate you taking a look here at CageRat Baseball. This presentation is for new players and returning players, just to kind of give you a preview of the upcoming the upcoming winter, spring, and summer, and everything that we've got going on with that. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to email me, call me, anything of the sort. If you don't know me, my name's Nick Mills Paul. I'm an Indiana native, still live in Indiana. Had an opportunity to play 3 years of Division One baseball at IPFW, Indiana Purdue Fort Wayne, and I also played 1 year at Indiana Wesleyan in my final year. Had a great opportunity to play with a great group of guys there, including the 2012 Cy Young candidate Brandon Beachy from the Atlanta Braves. And this will be my second year with the CageRat Baseball organization, and that is my wife there on the right. And most of you will have a chance to meet her over the summer. Just a little bit of history on CageRat Baseball. Again, some people, this may be your first year with our organization. We're founded in Colorado in August of 2010. We were started by a former Division One baseball coach who moved out from West Virginia out to Colorado and began the program. We actually have bumped up. We've over doubled in the past 12 months how many players have moved on or committed to college. We just had our 60th player, Justin Seegers, to Wren Lake as of February 5th, 2014. We are at 60 players committed to play college, and we're really proud about that. We brag about that just because that means that that's 60 kids so far that somehow that through our program, through our plan for us, that they've ended up moving on to play in college. We've now hosted 4 years in a row. We've had college showcases. And actually in Indiana, this has been our first year that we've had one this past December. And I just want everybody to know that that's a big thing for us. That's a big thing to build relationships with the coaches, have them out for the weekend, and just especially myself, I got to hang out with 12 Division One coaches in December for 3 days, and that's just a great opportunity, and that's great for the kids too because those are 12 more coaches that we know, personally leading into the summer. Now, this is just a little preview, just a couple things that we've done or we did last year. You can see in the bottom left we went to played that's Cincinnati. Wyatt Cross swinging, and just showing just a few pictures here of last year. Out here in Indiana, we always kind of are jealous about everything that all the views that are out there. We have a bunch of cornfields out here in Indiana, but you can see in the top right that to me is just an incredible view, but might be normal for you guys out west. The bottom right picture, I love putting this picture up because this is a picture towards the end of the year last summer, and guys don't realize sometimes parents or players that join our program don't realize how close that our teams become. They travel, they do everything together over the course of a couple months, and these guys are this is their last game. They're pretty upset from it. One big thing that we need to go over is our new website. I've got a lot of rave reviews about it, but our website is becoming extremely useful. However, we've got some people that I need to make sure that everybody knows what this website entails. This website is going to help us just utilize a central location for all communication, and that just means that in the past we haven't had access to a platform like we do now. In the past, there were several different streams, whether that you get communication, and now everything funnels from the website out. What that means is each team has its own team page, a team page that you can actually, a mom, a dad, a player, coach can post pictures on the team page. They have to be approved first, but you take a picture at a game, you post it, for that game onto the website. Posts, just like on Facebook, your team page has its own wall. It's awesome. You can post on there with questions for the coach, with questions for myself, questions for anybody. Maybe just updates, stats. It's awesome. The coach, a player, or a parent, um, is going to be somebody's going to be posting that. If we have a parent there at the game, we may be able to do a live stats so you can actually see the game live, or at the very least, the coach can keep book, and insert the stats after the game. Questions, like I said, with the posts, it's going to allow for questions to be answered and just to be private within the team. Just to have team questions being answered. You can even ask questions if you want that to be something for the whole organization to see. And also a calendar. Every team has its own calendar, so there's different tags on there for you to see whether or not that event won't pop up on your calendar if it doesn't pertain to you. Just to let everybody know, I will be looking for a team parent for each team to help run this page. And what that means is, I'm looking for a parent to really partner up with the coach to help them with the stats, making sure that those are loaded up properly on the site. Helping with response to the questions and posts, as well as game recaps. As if you've noticed already, you can actually do pretty easily. I've been posting articles, and so I'd like to have a game recap on every single game with a picture attached to that. So those are just some little things that I'd like to have done, and that would just make the communication level much smoother. What to expect this summer? Our Midwest teams are each going to play 5 to 6 high exposure tournaments. They can expect a practice or an inter squad game per week. So what that means is, we will, probably have a team practice or an inter squad game on a Tuesday, depending on how everybody's need rest, how much rest everybody needs. We're going to offer high level coaching just like we do every year. We do this every year. We bring in coaches that are, from just getting done playing college baseball. They're starting their coaching career, and they're just going to live here for the summer, and it's just a great opportunity for the players. We'll also offer 8 a.m. daily optional workouts with coaches whenever we're in town. And so what that means is, in the Midwest, we're looking at somewhere in the Cicero area, or possibly last year we were at Indiana Wesleyan's practice field. But something like that where we can get up and go work out with all the coaches. Very similar with Colorado. The main thing that you'll see that's added, Colorado takes a couple larger trips amounting to 4 to 5 tournaments, and the addition that they have is 10 or so local doubleheaders, 15 depending on the team and how many tournaments they play in. Expectations for training. One thing I will say is that part of a big contributor to the success of this program has been that our CageRat players, they work hard. They work very hard on their own. They're committed to making it to the next level, and that's a big reason why 11 of our players that have committed in the past 12 months have actually been committed to the Division I level. So basically, with the player development handbook, everybody that has registered already should already see that underneath the home tab on our website. We're going to go through the website here in just a minute. Um, because some people can't make it to practices. We have practice every Sunday. In the Midwest, we've got practice every Sunday for, I believe, 5 more Sundays. And, in Colorado, we're actually able to continue to offer those throughout. If you have a question on something, please contact me. But it's going to show you our hitting workout, our throwing workout, a great preseason um, weight training routine, and it's just going to show you everything that we teach: stretching, bands, everything that you need to be doing on a daily basis between now and the summer. One good thing that I love to have our players at these practices for is it allows for younger players to learn and older players to lead. We've got some older players now on our teams that have been with the organization for 2, 3, and some even 4 years, and this is even their fourth year. And that's just an awesome opportunity for them to get a chance to give back to these younger kids, but also just kind of practice being in that leadership role as they go off into college, and for the younger players to really look up to these guys and see all the hard work that they've done to make it to that level. Expectations, conduct. One thing that I want to make sure that I make clear is when you are on the field, you're representing yourself, your family, and CageRat Baseball. So conduct on the field and during games with CageRat, you're always, one thing that I want to make sure that is clear. All of these rules, the main thing that I want everybody to keep in mind is we want to make sure that we're thinking about what that scout might be looking at out in the stands, or if he happens to be walking by, or if he's sitting 400 feet away and just kind of watching. These are little things that you want to make sure that that you are actually doing, and so this is for your own good. But we don't. This is not tolerated. So we want everybody hustling on and off the field, no matter what happened, whether you struck out or anything. We don't want any foul language. I don't want to have to worry about whether a kid is standing by our dugout and hearing uh, foul language. So I don't want to be out on the field and an umpire, telling us that our kids need to watch their mouth. That is embarrassing. We're not at the college level yet, and so there's a certain way that we need to act. I won't tolerate any throwing of equipment, striking out, throwing a helmet, throwing a bat, throwing a mitt, whatever. I won't tolerate anything like that. Temper tantrums. I just don't have any place for it. I don't have any room for temper tantrums. This is a time to grow up. This is a time to get better. But I want these. I don't want temper tantrums. We're gonna look very well put together. You're gonna see our uniforms here pretty soon. Your hat's gonna be on straight, and your jersey's gonna be tucked in at all times. And the coach reserves the right to tell you to change that, to tell you to tuck your jersey in, to take your hat, or to straighten your hat. And um, uh, I don't want any. There will be no tobacco during the game. I don't know if that you know it may not be an issue, but that goes for off the field too. One thing that we just don't want to mess with it. I mean, if guys are of age, and I don't want. We understand, there might be some habits that guys are trying to break, or addictions or whatever, but I don't want tobacco around any of the other players if that is something that you've got going on. If there is some type of addiction going on or whatever, then your coach needs to know about it before we start traveling. Um, Take opportunities in between innings like they are live. So what that means is, I get really sick of seeing guys barely field ground balls and lob it across the diamond, or the catcher even. My brother's a catcher, and so I would always get on him, to take that throw down to second like it was alive. And the reason is A scout may not get an opportunity to really truly see he might only have a couple innings and he may not see anybody steal, or he may not see if you're a shortstop, you get a chance to really come through a ground ball and fire it across the diamond. So always take everything serious. Off the field, I just want everybody to know that if you're wearing anything that says CageRat or has our logo on it, you are responsible and accountable for your actions. And that means anything. If you get into trouble and you're wearing a CageRat shirt or hat, then there'll be you'll have to answer to CageRat Baseball um, for that. So you'll be responsible um, for your actions off the field as well if you're representing our program. So expectations with travel, players will expect to share a bed. There's going to be 4 players in every room, 2 to a bed. We usually don't have any issues if there's anybody that's going to try to, there won't be any bullying or anything like that. But guys need to handle all that themselves. But everybody will be entitled to a side of a bed at least. When riding in a team passenger van, there'll be no bat bags due to limited space and no suitcases. You must bring a duffel bag instead. This is for some of the guys on that's common, but bat bags and suitcases, they just take up too much space. So a good sized duffel bag that'll fold in a little bit. That's usually all you need. Teams that happen to be flying, I'll be booking the flights in April or the beginning of May, and all players are expected to travel with the team unless there's something that's been previously arranged. And so when I go to book these flights and actually pay for them, the expectation will be that you're going to be going with us. Hotels are team hotels with a curfew that's checked by the coach. They're team hotels that everybody will be staying together. Last year we got passenger vans. This year we're looking at a couple of options to limit the Colorado. I'm trying to schedule a little bit better and a little bit more efficient, so we can actually not have to do the buses, and just stay tuned with that. That might even mean an additional flight. So just stay tuned with that. I'm going to get more information for you guys on that. Failure to comply to this. I just want make sure it's clear that we do run this program to prepare you for college. We have a lot of fun, but these are business trips, and some doing things by missing your curfew, not being in your room by 11 o'clock or whatever time the coach tells you, violating any conduct rules like this may result in conditioning, suspension, or even removal from the team. Um, that's something I want to make sure that everybody knows, that we do have a lot of fun during the summer. These kids, it's the time of their life, but these are expectations that I definitely want to make sure that our coaches are enforcing, because if not, we really aren't teaching anybody anything if we're not. And this has been the case in the past, that we've I know our Colorado kids, this isn't anything that's new, but just anybody that's new on the call, new watching this, that I want to make sure that that's clear. Uniforms. This is a few of our guys here. You can see on the left and the right, we have gold jerseys, button up, say CageRats on the front. The pants are gray with a blue pinstripe up the side of it. And in the middle, same pants with a gray top, with blue sleeves on the side. The team hat you'll get is the one right there in the middle. It's the Navy team hat, CageRat hat. And the ones on the side, we had a bunch of players that loved the camo hats last year, and we will probably do something. We're going to order those as well that kids can buy. I see our kids wearing these all the time, and honestly, if everybody on the team ends up with one, then we'll offer that as a bonus hat for guys to wear, during the game as well. I've had a few parents ask me, if they can purchase on extra additional pants, and because they have one pair that comes with everything. Um, you can purchase additional pants. I believe they're. I'm gonna double check, but if you do want those, let me know. They're $50 or $60, and those would be for you to keep. The actual jerseys, the two tops and the pants, you'll turn back in at the end of the year so we can do inventory on everything. And then the hats you keep and the socks and all that. But if you want to purchase additional pants, you do keep those. Coaches, I kind of mentioned a little bit about their qualifications earlier. I will be beginning the interview process starting February 17th. And so as I hire those coaches, you'll see them pop up on I'll do a quick announcement on them, and you'll also see their information start to show up on the team page. So you'll begin to be able to introduce yourself by email, and everything like that. So just give me, usually February and March is when we hire our coaches, because the type of people that we look for, that's around when they start knowing what they're doing. One person I wanted to talk about real quick is Jordan Owen. Jordan Owen has just came to us from. He actually was an assistant coach briefly at the University of Illinois Springfield. He played for Tennessee Martin. He has the single season home run record there. Played there for 4 years. He actually played he played professional baseball in the Pecos League last year, and he actually has a contract to play in the Frontier League this year. And he just moved out to Colorado, and some of you have already met him. He's actually going to be running the team practices in Colorado. We've actually been pretty hands-on with him to get him acclimated with our program, and also just so he can just understand the expectations we have for our players. He is a high-level guy that he's you can just tell that he's got it, and he's really adjusted well with running our practices and working with the guys. So he actually is going to be end up being the first contact for the Colorado. I'm kind of grooming him to be that person. So he'll be your guys' first contact out in Colorado. And his contact information and profile is all on our website now. So if you guys need to, if you have questions for him, he's going to be the one that's handling practices, the scheduling of that, and even some of the initial conversations as players become interested in our program. And he's going to be running the player development out in Colorado as well. So a lot of people have asked me who's out in Colorado, and who's doing that. We found the right fit for me to somebody to really work with out there in Colorado. So I just wanted to let everybody know that. And so if you haven't met Jordan yet, his information is on our website. I'd really just encourage you to email him and welcome him to the CageRat team, and even give him a call and introduce yourself. Host family. This is something that maybe some have talked about, some have maybe not. Some have participated in, and others haven't yet. But in order for our program to continue progressing, we have opened up to players and coaches all across the nation. We've opened the program up, and in the past, we've actually had families that have been extremely generous and willing to open up their home to a player or a coach for the summer. And because of that, our program has been able to continue. The main, coaches are a big part of that. In Indiana, we need place for 4 coaches to live, and same thing with Colorado. And typically with each team, because I've opened up everything, players across the nation, we'll have a couple kids for every team that need a family to stay with for the majority of the summer. And so If that's you, if you've got some extra space in your home and you want somebody that you're willing to have somebody, just a player or a coach, stay with you, that this that would be amazing, and just we really appreciate that. Again, if we don't have families like you, if you're thinking that, then this program can't continue on a national level like we've been able to do. So please let me know if you are interested, if you want more information about that, whether it's a coach or a player. Please let me know here as soon as possible so I can begin to realize how many homes I still need to find. Apparel. Last year we had apparel for purchase, and we will have that again this year. We're gonna. I'm actually working on some new kind of a little better quality shirt for the players to wear. This year you're actually gonna get. I'm working on getting a CageRat top, a shirt, and CageRat shorts to come with your player fee and everything. And we still will have additional options for order for parents, and if players want additional apparel, they can order that as well. You may have noticed that on the apparel on our website, we have an online apparel store now. That's something that we set up through the platform that we've got through our website, and that's just been it's just been really cool for people because you can go on there and order, and it's not just apparel. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. In fact, I'm considering getting my computer chair, a CageRat computer chair, on there. So they've got everything on there that you can just get everything CageRats. We'll also have an additional apparel order that's going to be from just through us through a local print shop here in Indiana. That they're going to be the ones printing our apparel for the players. So just that just to give you a heads up on that. If you want apparel soon, just go ahead and order it online. Otherwise, we will be doing an extra apparel order as well, probably in mid-March. Team fees. All right, so fun stuff. So team fees are Colorado is $48.50. That includes all your travel except meals. And for Colorado, that means a flight, all of your hotels, any van rental, any hotels, any gas that's included in the van rental. Keep in mind, Colorado, you're typically on the road. You have a road trip for about 2 weeks, as well as one other trip as well. That's typically about a week. So it includes all your coaches' fees, tourney fees, any double headers, local games that you play and practices, your hat, socks, winter showcase attendance, and the use of the uniform, the two tops and the jersey, or two tops and the pants. For the Midwest, your fees are $3,050. Basically, everything's the same. Everything is the same as far as what it includes. It's just that the Midwest, just the travel situation is a lot different. So just want to make sure that everybody knows that's the fees. If you haven't already signed up, we need everybody to sign up for the registration here as soon as possible. In fact, if you haven't set up registered, if you can take care of that this weekend, that would be great. We have to. I have to figure out who's on what roster, and until somebody's actually registered, I can't actually officially put them on a register. Not to mention every tournament. So everybody, it's great for us to be in these, entered in these tournaments early, but I need everybody to realize that there's fees that come in with that as well. So please sign up and get registered. You can set up whatever pay plan that you need to. It's on the website. There's 4 or 5 pay plans for Colorado and the Midwest. We had a couple we had a few questions that came up during the registration, and I'm going to go ahead and address these now. And this is actually the recorded version. So if you're watching this and you still have additional questions, please feel free to email me afterwards and let me know what questions that you might have. I'm going to answer these questions and I'm going to pop off here and I'm going to show everybody the website, a couple of different things that I want them to see. So with the summer practices, when do those start? Those are actually going to start for Indiana. Those will actually start in the first full week of June. And for Colorado, right now we've got a couple teams looking at a Memorial Day tournament for a perfect game. I've got to figure out when you guys are going to be done with baseball. So that's knowing. Usually we start around Memorial Day. For those who travel, will the player need to stay in Indiana? In Indiana, players, most guys, either that if you live in Indiana, Michigan, or if you live in Illinois, Kentucky, or Ohio, surrounding states, they'll go home after the tournament and come back and report to the next tournament. Um, if you want to stay for a few days in between, you're more than welcome to do that. But I typically don't arrange an actual host family for that kid. He can just arrange with a teammate who he wants to stay with in between tournaments because it's usually not a permanent thing for the entire summer. When will we know about a host family or staying with a teammate? Same thing. I'm actually, this is step one for me to find a host family or find the amount of host families. The more I roster, the more host families I realize I need. Um, then right now I'm reaching out to the parents that have committed to our teams and seeing if they will need a host family or the other end of it if they would be willing to host. So hopefully that is found out within the next month and a half as we finalize our rostering. And I want everybody to know in Colorado that I'm actually going to be out there in April, probably the first weekend of April, to do a meeting just like this and answer questions. Who's running the winter practices? Myself in Indiana and Jordan Owen in Colorado, the gentleman I just introduced earlier. How can the Cage Rats help me get in front of specific colleges that I want to go to and be in front of? Well, what we do is, it's not so much of getting you going to a tournament where college is going to be or already. It's more so of going to the tournaments that and letting the coach know that you'll be there. So if you are, if your talent is there, and we encourage a lot of the players to reach out to the coaches and let them know, send them your video, and then let me know what specific colleges you're interested in, and then we can actually reach out to them and let them know that you'll be at that tournament what weekend as well. How are we able to get the stats from last year, and how do I get stats for this year? Last year, the actual stats, I mean, the only thing I would say is it'd have to be from your coach, because last year there wasn't necessarily a way. We're not really usually that big on stats, um, but this year stats are going to be pretty. I do want to keep all of that just so we can have a running tally of what's going on. I kind of went over that. That should be, as long as everybody's complying through the website and the coach helping out the coach. Each team will have their own stats on there. Local clubs, I mean, we typically play the high schools in the summer, slammers, let's see, batters box, teams like that in the summer, and we also will play ourselves. So my 16U versus 17U, 16U versus 18U, 17 versus 18. We try to do that a little bit as well, just so we can, in some cases that's better than playing other clubs. Are the boys going to be represented during tournaments with scouts as well as the 17s were last summer? Well, honestly, that depends on you. I mean, that depends on how good the players are. So, I mean, if you're a Division One talent, then yes, absolutely. So, right now the team is looking pretty good. So, yeah, I would expect us to not have really a problem with that and getting guys signed over the summer. But that all depends on how good the players are on the team to determine how well they're represented. There's going to be scouts interested how high of a level. We'll see how the guys show up in June. How will the teams be decided? Well, there's at the 16U level, I've got a 15, 16, and a 16, and that's really the 16U is going to be my top team out of the 15 and 16-year-olds, and the 15, 16 is going to likely be primarily 15-year-olds with a few 16-year-olds, and that's going to be more of my development team. My 18U teams in both Colorado and Indiana are going to be the probably 18-year-olds that are either signed or about ready to sign, as well as a few 17-year-olds that I didn't feel like quite was at the level I wanted them to be to play on the 17U team. And we fully expect the 17U team is likely to be our best team in both Indiana um, and Colorado. So that's it for that. Final thing to go over with you. Okay, this is our website. So if this doesn't look familiar, please familiarize yourself with it. This is our website here. We've done a lot of work to get this ready. You can see on our website you can become a CageRat by just filling out a registration. You can see our rankings, any college showcase that we have going on. The one thing that I want to make sure I point out that obviously here on the front you can see any recent articles that we've posted. If you want to learn more about Jordan Owen, you can. The gentleman that I just mentioned about summer travel. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys an example here. So if you click on, you can see there's every team on there. So this is 17U Colorado. This is your team page. Okay, this is everything for communication. This is where everybody needs to go to. So any article that's specific to you, specific to your team or the whole organization will be here. The summer travel registration is here that everybody needs to fill out. We've got the roster. You've got just a quick sneak peek of all the next upcoming events on the next 5 days. Like I said, the roster there, the ongoing roster, game schedule. So these are the 5 tournaments that the 17U is playing in. So I've already entered in all these tournaments, and these guys are expecting us to come there and play. Now from here, I just need to schedule double headers after that. So you can see each tab. There's nothing here yet because we haven't got but player stats, team overall stats. The coolest part of the photos, people love that. Like I said, players, parents, coach can upload videos, photos, anything up here of a recap of the game. Like I said, this is the biggest thing. You can see I just put a little note here, but by posting here, this is going to allow you to get a push notification, and you can search the team ID 416919. That will actually get you to this exact team, so you can follow this team on this app and get push notifications. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Try to stay within 30 minutes or so today. This gives you a full preview of the upcoming season, everything that I've got so far. And please reach out to me with any questions. My name's Nick Millspaul. My email is nick.millspaul at CageRatBaseball.com. And, as you can see, my information's all right here, including my phone number as well as my email. Thanks again, and you have a great day.